Okay, welcome to another lunar flight video. We're back here with our lunar module type of thing, whatever this craft is exactly. And we're just going to try to complete some missions basically. Yesterday, the last couple videos that you saw, I was just getting familiar with the basics of lunar flight, not really having much experience with it. I installed it a couple of years ago, took a look, didn't really do anything with it. This time I'm a little bit more intrigued, so I just kind of want to play around with it a little bit more. So let's get inside the flight deck or cockpit, whatever it would be called in this thing. And let's click this button up here, which actually changes the way we perceive the outside world. This view gives us a look at, it limits our view of the outside, but it gives us a lot of data that we need in order to make it from point A to point B, which we've not had a whole lot of success with yet, but I'm learning as I go. So let's go to missions. Let's just pick up another mission and see what we can do. So mission number 1, acquire data at a survey location. I haven't actually succeeded in doing that yet, I don't think. So I'm going to accept that, and it tells me that, so I'll put it on the navigation, and I can see that it's over here. I think one thing I found, actually, in looking at my own video playback, is that this is the direction that you need to go, and this is the direction that your thrust is coming from. So this actually, this arrow here, of course right now it doesn't mean anything because we're sitting stationary, but that arrow needs to be opposite of where you're going because that's where your thrust is coming out of, I think. So let's give it a try. We have 225 meters to go, and I reworked my keyboard numeric pad a little bit, trying to find that orbiter-like keyboard control setup, and I think I found something that's going to work a little bit better. So let's put in some thrust. That gets us going, and just taking away some of the thrust so that we don't climb too fast. That should be good there. Now I'm already having a brain freeze here on the controls, so just bear with me for a moment while I think how I need to rotate. Okay, yeah. So 1 does what I would expect it to do, pressing 1 on the numeric keypad, rotating me over toward the direction that I need to go. I'm going to put that right in front of me, and I'm going to eliminate the yaw. You can see over here how much yaw movement I have. It's actually a little too much. Let me go back up. And now that that's 0, I'm actually going to pitch the vessel forward. That'll be the more efficient way to get over there in theory. Let's take away some power out of the engines though, because we're still climbing. We don't need to be climbing. Okay, we're pitched over to 60 degrees. That's certainly enough. Oops, that's a lot more sensitive than I thought it would be. So instead of using translation for going forward, this camera makes no sense to me. I don't know what I'm looking at. So we'll go with that camera. Because I'm seeing this camera here, and I'm thinking that I'm looking at how much pitch my vessel has, but clearly that's not what it's showing. Okay, we're moving forward at about 3 meters a second. Let's go ahead and pitch back now, start eliminating our forward movement. And put in some more power to slow down our descent. Again, the camera is just, it's messing with me because I think I'm looking at a HUD and I'm not. Alright, maybe this control scheme isn't any better. I gotta shut this camera off. It's just confusing the crap out of me. Alright, we're gonna crash. Try again. It's not that I don't know how to fly this stuff. I definitely do. I'm having a problem perceiving the information that's on the screen. So let's reset. Let's try again. Pick another mission. Again, I don't know, and I never did figure out how to have it not ask me to save replays. And again, I don't know if it automatically defaults to the last mission that you had selected. I would say no, because right now the navigation shows that I'm sitting here on the pad. It doesn't give me direction where to go, so I'm thinking that I don't have any missions selected. So I'm going to go to missions. And again, we'll just try that mission number 1 that seems to... You would think it would be the easiest of them all because it's number 1. It seems to be giving me tons of trouble. Okay, and another thing I don't know is, like, I would like to be able to set my power level and then fire the engine. The way it works, I'm pressing 0, which just basically is like full power, and then I have to kind of use the control key to lock it, but it's a little awkward. I mean, again, this is just my orbiter experience. You know, I'm used to how things work in orbiter, and this works not the same, and it's just different to me. See, like there, you know, I have to time the press of the control key. Okay, let's not climb really fast this time. Be more careful with that. Immediately start yawing the vessel around. I mean, you can see how close that thing is. Oh, the one thing is the distance seems to be random, because this time it's only 72 meters to get over there. So what I can probably do this time is just yaw my way over there, or rather translate my way over there. Take out some more power so I'm not climbing. Just trying to get lined up. Okay, now eliminate the yaw. Now translate forward. Using the up-down arrow keys to translate forward and backwards, the down arrow key to translate forward, and the up arrow to translate backwards, because in orbiter, you know, 6 is forward and 9's backwards. I'm used to that. Okay, we're almost there already. Get rid of some... Get rid of the velocity, the horizontal velocity here. Again, a lot of these camera angles are more destructive than they are good for me. Okay, now just increase a little bit of power on the hover so we don't descend too fast. We're only 13 meters from the target. And I guess we just have to hover inside this bubble. That's the idea. Putting in a bit more power, trying to get it to a hover position. It doesn't tell me what the altitude is of this position, though. Taking out some power so I don't climb. Yawing a bit to the left because it seems like I am not exactly where I need to be. Take out a bit of power because I am climbing. Okay, we'll be inside that bubble here shortly. I can see it coming up on the screen here. I don't like this camera angle because I think it's kind of cheating, but these, the way they work, are just kind of confusing to me. Okay, we have a 0 vertical speed basically. So put in just a touch of power. And our distance is now 4 meters, so we're here. I guess you have to get all the way to 0.0 or something. Descending, don't want that. Taking out some power because I'm starting to ascend. Hover at location. That's the goal here. Taking out some power. I don't really understand what we have to do here because I'm hovering at the location. I was within a couple of meters of it. So we need to descend a bit, I guess. Which will be no problem because we're running out of fuel, so we will descend by default. We're like 1 meter from where we need to be, and it's still like not telling me that we have success or anything. I'm not entirely sure what you're supposed to do in this mission. Sounds simple enough, hover at location. But transporting cargo is apparently a lot easier. Okay. So, another failure to add to the list. Let's do something else. Instead of the data survey, which we appear to be incapable of doing, let's try to transport some cargo. And in theory, I guess if you complete some of these missions successfully, and then you get some cash, so you can buy upgrades and things like that. But based on our track record so far, we will never be able to accomplish any of that. Okay, so we're going that way, and it's 317 meters over there. Let's do this. And this time we have cargo, so apparently the hover point that's listed here doesn't move, so it's static, and it's apparently based on an empty vessel. So let's yaw over toward that position. Okay, now we'll pitch the vessel forward, and that will have the thrust coming out the back of the vessel, which will push us forward. You can see in the top camera there we're moving forward. Have to watch our vertical speed though, because since we're not applying all of our vertical speed toward the ground, then we are not balanced properly, and we might need to add in some thrust just to stay aloft. And apparently I'm wrong about this arrow because it's pointing to the side and we're clearly going forward, so that's not where the thrust is coming from. I don't know what it means then. Let's pitch back and eliminate the forward velocity. Not all of it, but some of it. Touch the ground. And okay, let's try again. I do like that this game has collisions. I really wish Orbiter had collisions. I like the fact that, we're in a crater, or, that there are craters and mountains and such. I think that's pretty cool. And because that's more realistic, you would have to overcome things like this if you were really moving around on the moon. The terrain is not flat like it is in Orbiter. You have all these hills and valleys, and if you hit things along the way, or if you land on a boulder, it's a problem. So I do like that. Okay, mission. Okay, we're not doing the acquire survey thing. I'm too stupid to figure that out. We'll do transport. Okay, going that way for 317 meters. Let's give it a shot. I don't understand this control scheme of adding thrust and removing thrust. It's awkward. Or at least it's too slow is what I should say. When I remove thrust, I have to hold the key down for a very, very long time just to remove the smallest amount of thrust. Okay, let's pitch forward a bit. Okay, we're moving forward. And there's this way to switch around camera views. I think it's F3, 4, 3, F2. So F2 and F1 kind of goes in and out, so you can see from the outside how things look. Might be a little more interesting for the video playback to see this view every now and then. Pitch forward a little more. Because we have 300 meters to go, so we probably want to move at least a couple meters per second. And a little more thrust because we're descending. Actually adding quite a bit more thrust because we're descending quickly. Okay, pitch back up to the center position. If I can figure out where that's at. Because we're moving forward at 2 meters a second, that's good enough. I have no idea if I'm level now or not. More thrust to, because we're falling again. I guess this camera kind of makes sense to me. Actually, no, it doesn't. Ugh. So I'm going to pitch forward, and I have no idea to what degree I'm pitched at. That information is nowhere to be seen. Take out some power because we're climbing. Don't really want to climb. Just want to maintain this altitude so we get over there, if we ever get over there. Just 142 meters out, so let's we're still pitched a little bit forward, so let's start at least getting somewhat upright. Just trying to put in a bit of lateral translation to get, okay, now I need to pitch back to eliminate that forward velocity. Yeah. I can't tell what I'm looking at. It's so confusing. That one camera that I'm looking at in the middle is really doing a mind trick on me. I can't get oriented in the vessel. I can't figure out what I'm looking at in relation to where I'm going and what I'm doing. Give it one more try. Not a survey, but a transport. Okay, select nav. 482 meters right in front of us. Let's try it again. That doesn't work how I think it makes sense. Okay. And neither does that. Let me look at the control setup for a second. Cameras, nav points, it's not what I want. I want to see this thrust lock. I mean, you press that to lock the thrusters, which is the same thing you do in Orbiter, but in this program, it remembers the last setting that you had for whatever, you know, whatever the thrust was set to. I don't see like any other options for controls in that regard. All right. So 0 then thrust, I guess. And when you eliminate your thrust, it's so much slower. Okay. Pitch forward. Okay, we're moving forward. Ideally, we would be pitched way more than this, but I don't want to have a lot of movement because when I get there, it's going to be confusing to slow down. So this is how far out we are. Apparently it's the same as that number, so this is easier to read. That's nice. Oops. Okay, if you click that button, it changes your navigation. Okay, we're moving it to almost 3 meters a second. See, now when I pitch back to eliminate this forward movement, I'm actually probably better off looking outside because the inside of the cockpit confuses me to look at it. We're slowing down. Target's mostly in front of us, but it's a bit... we need to yaw a bit. Again, I'm just completely confused at what I'm looking at. Am I level or not? Adding in more power because we're going to touch the ground if we don't. I don't know if I'm going to be able to overcome that. And this is a situation where I wish I could just go to full power right away and not have to do it incrementally, but I don't see how to do that. And now, I mean, I got the opposite problem. All right. I am enjoying this game. I really am. But the controls are really irritating me. I mean, I understand that it's not Orbiter, and I can't expect it to work like Orbiter. I get that. but I would expect it to make sense. I've used other space programs, flown other space programs, and their control schemes are different than Orbiter, and you have to adjust. And that's part of the difference between one program and another. But those control schemes for those programs make sense. This control scheme of adding in thrust and then pressing control to lock it and then unlocking it, it's doesn't make sense to me. We're at 30 minutes, so that's going to be the end of this video. I was really hoping to accomplish more here today, get from point A to point B at least, and figure some things out, but perhaps in the next video we'll know our way around. I think what I might do is spend an hour or two with the program without making videos, and then come back and probably be part 4, have more experience with it. That way I'm not fumbling around so much. If you like this part, or if you like the video, hit the like button down below. If you didn't like it, hit the don't like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and I will see you in the next video.